Welcome to Combat Mission Black Sea, where my Blue Force, the good guys, are unleashing suppressive fire on Usually Hapless's Blue Force, which I will cleverly call the bad guys. He has an unknown number of troops occupying this key piece of wooded terrain, and my first goal of this small-sized meeting engagement is to kick them out. The assault force is in place, and begins the assault with infantry leading the way and a pair of Bradleys on fire support right behind. Will the assault succeed or end in ruin? You'll have to watch or skip to the end to find out, because first I need to set the stage. I'm going to start at the beginning with the terrain analysis. Now, I actually just finished recording a 9-minute long terrain analysis, but I decided that is just way too long and probably too boring for everybody else, so I will upload that video, but this is going to be the quick version. So basically this is a town in between two ridges with 4 objectives. On the left there is the Overlook Ridge, which is the key piece of terrain on this map. In the middle there's one big center town minor objective. There's a major objective, which is a small building in the center of town, the municipal building, and then there's a cemetery ridge on the right, which also has a minor objective. So unfortunately for Hapless, and good for me, his approach to all the objectives will just take much longer than it will take for me. So my plan is to rush, get the firstest with the mostest, as Hapless always says. I'm going to rush to the far side of the Overlook objective. I'm going to rush to the far side of the municipal building, and I'm going to rush to the reverse slope with a holding force for the cemetery ridge. I'm going to have pre-planned barrage on these woods at the 5-minute mark, and then I'm going to assault these woods after the barrage clears, using fire support from my vehicles in the town. So that is the basic analysis. There is also one other key point of terrain, this hill over here. It's the biggest spot on the map, the highest elevation, and it has not great visibility to the town, but you can see some parts of Overlook Ridge. You have really good visibility to Cemetery Ridge, and you cover this open farmland. So that is the terrain analysis. Like I said, if you want to see a longer version, look for that video. Likewise, this is an abbreviated force selection explanation. I have 3 companies with a total of 13 squads. Normally 3 companies would be 27 squads. I have 13. They are a mix of veteran, regular, and green. I have 1 crack and veteran rifle platoon. That will be my reserve platoon, say for the key point of the battle. I have 3 elite XO teams, which I'm going to give javelins. They will be my javelin teams. I have these 2 crack snipers. I have 4 Bradleys. I have a striker. I have an Abrams with the APS system, 120mm mortars, which is scheduled for pre-planned bombardment on Overlook Ridge, and then 2 81mm mortars. The only restriction that we had was each person could only take 1 TRP, so I took 1 TRP, and only 1 pre-planned bombardment to start the game. Okay, let's go over the deployment. Start on the left, we have Lieutenant Mosley's 1st Platoon A Company and 2 Bradleys. He's ordered to rush the Overlook and gain position on the far side of the Overlook. He needs to pin any bad guys in place on the far side until the 5-minute 120mm barrage lands. Next to Mosley is 2nd Platoon B Company that will be holding in reserve. I'm expecting bad guy artillery all over the Overlook, so I don't want many troops up there. And to the right of Mosley is Goolsby's Engineer Platoon and a squad of Crutchfield's platoon. These will be rushing the center of town. Here on the main road we have Crutchfield and the rest of his platoon, as well as another engineer half squad. They're in the Humvee, 1 Bradley, and they're backed up by the Abrams. We'll be watching Overwatch for them. Schrader's crack platoon's here on the left. He has the 120mm barrage order. You can see he's got a crack, a squad, a vet squad, and that's another vet half squad there. And over here, just to the right of them, we have a couple of FOs and a javelin team that will move into my side of the woods of Cemetery Ridge. Far right, we have McGregor's platoon. They'll be rushing the reverse slope of Cemetery Ridge. We have Lieutenant Sanchez and his 1 squad. Plus we have a hodgepodge of other teams, some MGs, some snipers, a forward observer, a Stinger team. Lastly, on the very far right, we have a manpad section HQ that's going to rush over the ridge, just in case. Okay, it's always exciting to actually start. Here we have Lieutenant Sanchez's group rushing Cemetery Ridge in the Bradley. The Abrams is providing overwatch for the Humvee and the Bradley as they rush the major objective of the municipal building. He finds a good hold-down position. Goolsby, the Engineer HQ, and a squad get delivered safely by the Striker. What is undoubtedly going to be the key to the match, Mosley and his group head off on the Overwatch hill, and Mosley gets bogged. But thankfully he gets free. There they go up the hill. No bombardment hitting them. That's nice. Then Mosley makes it to the far side of the ridge, and everybody files out.
Dismount.
Crutchfield makes it to the far side of the major objective, as well as the engineering half squad and the veteran half squad. We get a contact, but no spot for the Abrams. Sanchez is going very slowly towards Cemetery Ridge, reverse slope, but they make it. They file out. On the far right, a forward observer and a stringer team hoofing it up that big hill. This hill on the right's actually the highest elevation on the map. It has pretty good view, but not great view because of the trees. But you can see, well, there's a Bradley backing up. But all the way across the other side of the map, Mosley's team is sneaking and advancing slowly down the far side of the overlook. Bad guy artillery starts falling on the overlook. Fortunately, Mosley's team has pushed past it, so no casualties so far. And then the second Bradley has also gotten out of the way and backed up. He's going back to pick up some more troops. And in fact, across the whole map, all of my vehicles are pulling back to reload and reposition. Okay, here's the tactical situation at the end of 4 turns. Mosley's platoon is on the far side of the overlook, with reinforcements coming back from the reverse side, and 120mm mortars plan to start falling in 1 minute at the 5-minute mark, a pre-planned bombardment. In the middle, we got forward elements of Goolsby and Crutchfield's platoons in good positions. They got to the positions I wanted to with no casualties. And then on the right, lead elements of Sanchez's platoon is on the reverse slope of Cemetery Ridge. And we also have an FO on the reverse slope of the highest point of the entire map. So we're sitting good, or so I thought. Even Sergeant Martinez in the Humvee thought he was safe, but javelin through the top of the Humvee. Here's the bad guy positions we know so far. We got a Bradley in the reverse slope on our right, then on the reverse side of Cemetery Ridge. We got another one in the middle of town, and then we got 3 probably Bradleys and some infantry contacts. Continuing, more 155 falls on the overlook. Mosley takes a casualty. Going back to the middle, we dropped off a veteran squad in these thick woods, and he's been very slowly trying to sneak around to get eyeballs on the backside of Hapless's position. It's really slow and tiring work. On the overlook, my elite javelin team spots a Bradley with 7 seconds left of the turn. I took these guys as elite because it only takes 14 seconds for them to fire once they get the spot. So I was very excited. Oh, no. The 155. Still, in the second round came in. At the time I thought that was unlucky. Turns out, not so much luck. In town, my engineers continue to blow holes in walls and buildings to make a better path for other troops going forward. And on the right, I decided to try to rush a machine gun team to those woods on the left side of Cemetery Ridge. Figure if I can get a team there, I can really push them into the back of Hapless's side and cause him some real problems going forward. But they don't quite make it. At least not one piece. Let's watch turn 5. Artillery barrage from bad guys and from the good guys. There's the 155 that takes out the elite javelin team. And then my 120mm mortars. Looks like it's a place I would not want to be if I was on the bad guy team right now. As the 120mm falls, reinforcements start moving in position. The Bradley goes. The Abrams and another Bradley goes from the middle. They're going to fire from town onto the my right side of that overlook woods. Of course, in CM there's always traffic problems. This is the Bradley that stayed up on the overlook. He's repositioning to the far side, the very left side of the map edge, to give fire support on that side of the woods. Here we have the Bradley, the Striker, and the Abrams in town, moving in position to area fire the bad guy side of the overlook woods. You see the laser warning. I see the laser warning. Apparently Sergeant Wells doesn't care about the laser warning. Okay, rewind the tape. Let's pause this right here. I have it on good authority that Bradleys have a laser warning system that will cause them to pop smoke and reverse out of danger.
Yeah. The Abrams and the Bradleys I'm expecting to face here have laser warning systems, laser warning receivers. When someone shoots them with a laser rangefinder or the targeting laser from something like an AT-14, an automatic system snaps the turret round to look down the angle of the incoming beam, it pops smoke, and usually the tech AI, which is controlling the tank, decides to be somewhere else. Chances are it's going to reverse out of trouble.
Apparently not. Since we paused the game anyways, I have something else I have to show you.
And a pair of mortar tips.
What the hell is this?
The flanks.
Did Hapless start his graphics training from a preschool kid with sidewalk chalk? I've seen cave walls have better graphics than this video. Oh man. Long way. Anyway, back to the game. Sergeant Wells is dead and one Bradley to the scrap heap, but the fight must go on. One thing I have learned from these Hapless videos is the value of the forensic analysis of kills. And so, slow motion step back through this video, I see that it actually was a tow missile that killed that Bradley. I didn't see an enemy Bradley fire. There was never a spot, so at the time, and actually until in-game, I assumed it was a tow missile team, but it turns out it was actually just Bradley hiding over there in the overlook trees, and never got spotted. So that was interesting. So turn 8 ends with the Abrams and the Striker continuing to lay down suppressive fire. The 120mm mortar barrage will end at the start of turn 9, and the assault team is ready to clear the woods. However, the assault is going to be in the next video. I'm brand new to video editing, and my little computer is struggling as the video gets longer, so I figured this was a good place to stop. Thanks for watching, and keep moving forward.